If you're doing drugs, you're better than that. And you know you are. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to tell you it can be okay. And our words do matter. And the words on this channel are of support, not that you're a piece of shit. Because you're not.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I am Bruce Rivers, as if you didn't know that. And I am board certified, as if you didn't know that. And we are here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts, a channel created and curated, carefully crafted by our former content genius that you knew as Michael Rivers and I knew as Michael Rivers, God rest his soul. Today we're reacting to a cop or a deputy overdosing with seized drugs. Cops are entrusted with a lot of things. They have a gun. They have a squad car. They can pull people off the street and put them in jail. They're entrusted with evidence. They're entrusted with drugs, money, firearms, all kinds of other things. So when a cop does something that violates that trust, they're considered, at a higher standard, kind of. This is a cold reaction. This is, I think, with Iwu and Explore with Us. So give them some love. But let's go through and check this out.
Wake up, bro!
Now, this is especially difficult for me to watch this, to be honest with you, because that's how I found my son. When I saw Michael in the bathroom, he was dead and his face was purple, and hopefully they got this guy a little sooner than that.
There you go. Wake up, bud. There you go. Wake up. Come on, Mark. Come on. Wake up, bud. Come on.
On October 24, 2023, panic ensues at the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department in California when a deputy enters the bathroom to find a colleague unresponsive on the floor. As deputies attempt life-saving measures, the mystery of what caused his collapse unravels, forcing them to draw a horrifying conclusion.
It's just, that's compounded by the fact that he's a cop. It's one thing to be a drug addict. It's another thing to be a cop with a drug problem. But guess what? Cops are people too. They can fall prey to opiate addiction and that kind of stuff, just like anybody else. I had a deputy, actual deputy, that was in another county. He would go around to homes pretending to be investigating opioid thefts. And, excuse me, ma'am, do you have any prescription drugs? There's been a rash of thefts. Can I just look and see what your prescriptions are? Cop can't fucking do that. That's just so sketch on its face. But people would let him in. Why? Because he's got a badge and a gun. And so he goes in and he takes a look at their stash of opioids, and he would take half of them and put them back in the cabinet. He ultimately wound up having a fucking seizure because he was taking so many drugs, and he broke both of his shoulders just by seizing up. You don't want to judge, but you judge. Some people, I've seen some of the comments that you guys have shared with me, and it's just hard to know what line to draw. I mean, people rip you off. They do all kinds of, they lie to you. They say all kinds of nasty shit. And it's just all a byproduct. I mean, who the fuck would give up your career for some hydrocodone, some oxy, or for fentanyl or for whatever? Who would do that, thinking logically? I am going to give up my career for drugs. Nobody would do that. I wouldn't do that. But they're not thinking with a straight head.
The following report is based on official police records. Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. It's just after 8 p.m. when an on-duty deputy enters the restroom at the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department, finding Deputy Marvin Morales seemingly passed out in the corner of
What a fucking horrible sight to see.
The stall.
Leave that door open! My radio's there. Get his vest off. Straighten his leg. Straighten his leg. Yep. Mask. Brother! out, drag him out, drag him out, drag him out.
Hey, students.
Leave that door open for fire. Put a trash can out there.
So the first thing you probably want to do is give him a shot of Narcan, because that counteracts the drugs.
Rouse. Wake up, bud.
Come on. Pulse. How's it got pulse? Still got breathing?
He's breathing. He's got pulse.
Whose car is this? That's his car. That's my car. I came to use the restroom. I thought he was in there taking a poop, and as soon as I opened the door, he's leaning against the corner.
See how fucking fast that can happen? It doesn't take long. I had a case where the daughter of a mayor of a, suburb was found dead in her car at a Burger King parking lot. Who wants to die in a Burger King parking lot? Nobody does. But she was doing heroin, and the minute she did it, and what happens is with these opioids, and fentanyl is stronger than heroin. It's a nervous system suppressant. So what happens is you pass out, and then you just don't breathe. I mean, it's really not a bad death in terms of pain or discomfort, because you're unconscious, and then you that normal, like if you're laying in bed and obviously you have sleep apnea, obviously you missed a breath or two, we have this natural innate tendency to breathe. It's just because we have to breathe to live, and but you take those drugs and it goes away, so you're out. But you're out and you don't breathe. That's like when you have a surgery, and they put you out for the surgery. They put a tube down your throat and they breathe for you because it's the same thing. That's what these drugs do to you. It's so fucking sad.
He's down. Yeah, he's a couple fire zones. There you go.
There we go. There we go.
Come on, buddy. There you go. Wake up, bud. There you go. Wake up.
Come on, Mark. Come on.
Wake up, bud.
Come on. Come on, man.
Wake up, Rouse. Wake up.
Those sounds he's making are healthy sounds, or good sounds, because it means he's still alive and he's trying to breathe. When I encountered Michael that morning, I moved him a little bit, and I just heard something exhale out of his, and that was it. There was no sign of life. It just sucks.
Wake up, Rouse. Wake up. There you go. There you go.
Hey, do we want to roll in the recovery at all?
Keep your hands up.
You want to start rolling into the recovery at all? Just because of all the mucus from you giving him that?
We'll keep him like this because he's breathing. He's got a pulse.
Come on, Mark.
Come on, breathing.
Come on, bud.
Come on, Marvin.
Mark. Come on, bud.
Yeah, starting rub's not going to help him. Wrong pulse.
Good.
Come on, Marvin. Snap out of the leg.
They attempt a sternal rub, a technique used to assess a person's level of consciousness, but Deputy Morales has no visible response.
Come on, Marvin. I'm going to try to wait one more time.
Dan, you're done, bud?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark. There we go.
It just is so fucking sad, because guess what happens to him after this? You think he's still a police officer after stealing drugs out of the evidence locker? No. If he was depressed about who he was at this moment, imagine where he goes from there. Number one, you got to get him into a hospital. Number two, you got to get him sober. Number three, you got to keep him alive. Those are all fucking tall orders. I got a friend whose son has been out of his apartment 2 days in the last month, doing whatever he's doing. And it's just, you don't never know when this is going to hit you. So if you're going through some shit, get some help. Don't quit attacking those around you that love you. Quit attacking everybody, because that's what you're doing. And you're doing that. And you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everybody else. So just get some help. Get into a facility. There's plenty of them around the country. Remove yourself from the friends who are supporting your drug use, and live to build something that's positive.
Come on, Marvin. Come on. Come on, Marvin. I see you.
There you go.
Keep breathing, man. Stay with us. You're good.
Paramedics arrive, and Deputy Morales is transported to a local hospital for further treatment. Meanwhile, deputies on scene learn he collected narcotics during an earlier on-duty call With concerns he may have experienced an accidental exposure, deputies begin to search his vehicle.
Like said it was in a glove.
I haven't seen this so much now, but back when there were meth labs, because there aren't any meth labs here anymore, because one of the precursors was Sudafed, and they've really regulated the shit out of Sudafed. But, you know, anhydrous pneumonia and exposure to these labs was a real thing for some of these cops. So they do have this accidental exposure, but now I don't see that quite so much. We're brought to you by AskALawyer.com. AskALawyer.com. Why would you ask a lawyer anything? Because you might have a situation, you know, where you're in your person's basement and you're just sitting there with your OnlyFans feed page and you're wondering, are you being treated properly? Are you having landlord-tenant issues? Do you have a contract dispute with the person who's taking the pictures of your feet? If you have any kind of legal issue, go to AskALawyer.com, just like my grandma does. It's only $49 to talk to a live lawyer and get an assessment of your case or whatever. It's cheap and it's reliable, and they've got lawyers 24/7 ready to take your call. Or they have an AI function too. So if you are researching a legal issue, the AI component has been trained on all the state and federal laws so that you can, you know, do your own research. So go to AskALawyer.com. They're a loyal sponsor, also associated with eForms and eSign. So they're really, really a good outfit. So click the link and do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I felt those. It doesn't put anything in it.
That one's empty.
Nah, I'm not seeing anything in the box.
No, I checked that
Didn't
one.
feel like there was anything in them. Not that one.
Would probably not be in this ticket though.
Actually, shine light over here, Serge.
No. Something in that one.
Damp, but they don't feel. Don't feel anything on that one. I don't see any other gloves floating around in there, do you?
No.
Pull up his last call that he was on and see if he already logged anything in RMS for it. I'm surprised we have.
Now, will he get charged with a crime? Probably. So you've got theft, you know, you've got obstruction of justice, I suppose. And then you lose your job, and you know, and then you have this humiliation factor too, because you ever caught when you're like, if you're a cop, you have status. What do you do for a living? I'm a police officer. Oh, how is that? You know, tell me about your job. You know, and they have it for most of the time the right reasons, I would think. You know, my dad was a fireman. You know, and you asked him what he did for work. He said, "I fight fires and save lives." That's status. You know, and that's who you are as a person. These cops, they're cops. You know, they're through and through cops. And you lose that identity, you know, it just it cascades down into depression and all kinds of stuff.
I'm surprised we haven't done that, and if we're not finding it, he could have already possibly booked it.
I was like, he was on a 415 family, and I didn't say anything about Joe.
No, he was on a, he collected dope at like 6:30-ish.
Okay.
The following footage, recorded at a Shell gas station, captures the moment he obtained the narcotics, just hours before he would be found unresponsive on the bathroom floor.
What's up, bro? What's good? You okay? You having a lot of fun out here, bro.
Yeah. You got new sunglasses.
I just saw you last week over here, bro.
Yeah.
You was dancing at the same time too, man.
Yeah.
You promised me your best dance moves.
Who?
You.
Yeah.
You promised me your best dance moves.
Yeah, definitely.
What's up? You want to see the way?
I gotta go back to downtown, dance there. They're all waiting for me. Last time I went, the stadium was about to fall down.
You were about to pass out the other night, though, last week.
The irony here is that the cop is more aware of this shit than anybody else. He's more aware of the dangers. He just told this guy you passed out the other week. What happens when you pass out from opioids? You stop breathing and you fucking die.
Last week. You was on that Fetty.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Is that what that foil is right there in your pocket? Or be real with it. Just be real. Just be real.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah?
Could be.
Could be, is it? I think it is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah?
Nah, not for now.
So you could either hand it over or I could put you in cuffs and take it out your pockets. Up to you. Hand it over. Hand it over.
Can I get,
And that's going to be his downfall.
can I get it back?
How about that straw right there?
Deputy Morales and his partner temporarily detain the suspect. After clearing his pockets, he asks for clarification on the contents of the foil packet.
What is this? What exactly is this?
And honestly, you're a fucking cop. Why would you take the drugs off of somebody that you have no fucking clue as to what you're doing? You have no clue as to, I mean, you don't know where that came from. You don't know exactly what it is. But you know what people who are addicted to drugs do? Reckless and dangerous things. They don't think rationally.
Pistol? Pistol?
Deputy Morales can then be seen tucking the foil packet into a black glove before securing it in the hatch of his cruiser. Afterwards, he writes the suspect a citation for possession of narcotics and lets him go.
All right. See you next week. Hey, I'm here. This is my area.
Despite securing the evidence in his cruiser, it's nowhere to be found. However, deputies still searching quickly find something else, which raises even more concerns.
He said foil with and a glove, right?
How often do we just get rid of dope?
But he cited him.
Yeah, you're right.
But he cited him.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, although that might just be an old busted meth pipe because there was no mention of a pipe in the call.
Yeah, but there's glass right here and there's foil. Or there's not foil, but there's...
Yeah, it might just be an old meth pipe, Sarge.
Huh?
So that might just be an old pipe.
See, they're giving him the benefit of the doubt. So they probably haven't seen him high on the job. But clearly, if he's got a meth pipe that he's using, I'm not saying he is, but I mean, because we don't know that yet. But if he's using meth on the job.
I'll toss it in there, but that's literally just a shattered pipe.
Well, I mean, is that what it was? It was foil,
It
right?
said what the guy said was meth, so it was off-white substance and foil.
No mention of a pipe, though.
No.
One deputy considers an explanation that might explain why the narcotics would no longer be secured in his vehicle.
Do you think he was gonna go and book it, but use the bathroom first?
No, there's no reason to. I mean, he could have, but there's no reason to pocket it because the stuff's all the way in the back of the station. So you'd have to get back in the car and drive in and grab it. That has to be in his cargo pocket.
It has to be. But are his pants still at the hospital? He went with his pants to the hospital.
I'll find out and see if they can check on that.
Deputies with Morales at the hospital check his pockets, finally locating the evidence.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's a level of loss, you know, when you're at this level. I mean, you've gone through the academy, you've passed everything, you got the respect of your family, your friends, and your colleagues, and your partner, and your wife, and children, and all that's destroyed. Remember what I told you about building? You know, every day build just a little bit, build your relationships, build your financial future, build your education, build your career, build. And you look back at it after so long, you're like, I don't want to make decisions that are going to ruin what I just built. So this cop has built a life, right? And now because of a stupid move or an addiction, he's taken all the it's like Jenga. You know, you play the game Jenga. He just removed one fucking brick out of there, and the whole thing tumbles down.
I think you can feel the flow in there. Yeah. I don't want to fucking open it up, get us all exposed. Yeah. It's crazy. Shit happens quick.
However, the question of whether the exposure was accidental reaches a shocking conclusion when deputies locate a small glass pipe and an orange torch lighter in the bathroom where Deputy Morales collapsed.
The pipe that's on the ground wasn't next to him, was it? That's what I'm concerned about. There's a meth pipe sitting over about the
I don't remember, but it was in the stall.
Okay.
With him.
Okay.
Additionally, hair and blood samples collected at the hospital indicated at least 90 days of narcotics use. Investigators with the Bureau of Internal Affairs discovered that on August 9th and 15th, 2023, he cited 2 individuals for misdemeanor possession of paraphernalia. In his reports, he claimed to have disposed of a glass pipe, but later admitted to taking one home and using it multiple times. Investigators with the Bureau of Internal Affairs ultimately concluded that Deputy Morales intentionally used the narcotics he seized from the suspect on October 24, 2023. On January 1, 2024, investigators recommended Morales for termination. However, before formal action was taken, he submitted a formal resignation letter on February 2nd, 2024.
And what do you do now? Fucking construction? You know, I mean, go back to school? You know, get sober. This is really hard to watch, honestly, but I think it's necessary for everybody to see this. So I encourage you to watch this on eWoo without my commentary. Then go back and watch my commentary. Because I am a first-hand witness to the destruction that drugs do in our society. A lot of people are like, oh, everybody can do drugs if you want. It doesn't hurt anybody. Bullshit, it doesn't. You know, this guy would not, I mean, he's used it within the last 90 days, I think they said. And you know, guess what they do? They use it almost every day. Every day, because they fucking have to. You know, they get in a habit of it, and they just have to. I remember pulling Michael out of an ER about a year ago. Actually, he was in ICU. And he almost died. And I sent one of our people here to go see him. I said, he's not answering his phone. He breaks into his house. He's laying on the floor, and he calls 911, and he was rescued. He was in ICU for 4 days, sedated, because he was so fucked up. I went to go see him in the hospital, and he told me he's not going to treatment. You can't make somebody go to treatment. He gets out, and all summer long, I know he was using, but he didn't use in front of me. And then you guys saw the video, our last video with him in it. You know, he looked like he was fucked up, and he was. And I didn't turn a blind eye, but I couldn't fucking talk to him. You can't talk to people like this until they get sober, until they figure out, I need to make a change. And until then, they will lie to you, they will cheat, they will steal, you're the problem, you know, and they just count. And Michael was brilliant. So anytime I had a problem with him, he would just turn it back on me. And it's really sad when you look at this kind of stuff because it's such a fucking waste. If you're doing drugs, you're better than that. And you know you are. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to tell you it can be okay. I can't tell you how many messages we've had, literally thousands, you know, and I don't reply to messages anymore because we just get so many. But, you know, my team is made a bunch of them known to me. And our words do matter. And the words on this channel are of support, not that you're a piece of shit. Because you're not. You got a mother, you got a father, you got a brother, you got a sister, you got a wife, you got a child, you got whatever. There's people out there that love you. And they are worth your sobriety. I know I'm being really preachy, and this is not a fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts, but it's really important. You know, I have a fiance. Her name is Chloanna. She's beautiful. Am I going to throw it all away because of drugs? It's just so counterintuitive. But people who are doing this don't do it for the thrill of it. They don't do it rationally. And getting them off the shit is almost fucking impossible. So if you're one of those people that either knows somebody or somebody that is close to you, or if it's you, make the decision to stop the fucking train and get off and protect yourself. Because people love you and you're better than this. That's our little lecture for today. And I know it's not a fun-filled episode, but I think it's necessary for you to hear this. You know, and if you have somebody in your life that's doing this shit, don't push them away. You're going to have to just manage that relationship, and it won't be fucking easy. But do what you got to do to support them. Not support their drug habit, but support them in any way you possibly can. So we see you next time here in Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you go for merch. If you want some merch, go to get some merch. Maybe give it to your loved one. I mean, that's a good idea. Go to clrbrucerivers.com, and we're going to be putting some art up there for Michael, and then some of those posters that we're selling are selling like crazy. But and then make sure that you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon. You get a free hat if you're a paid member, and then we'll see you next time here in Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is that my God?